Ever get that, like, totally jealous feeling? You know that feeling when you see someone and they have something that you really want, like really, really want.
Huh.
It's like a punch in the gut, right?
Yeah.
Well, take that feeling and crank it up 1,000 times, add in some, like, epic Shakespearean drama. And that's what we're diving into today, Shakespeare's Othello.
Othello, talk about a play that just gets right into the depths of human psychology. It's like it's like a master class, really.
It is.
And today we've got some excerpts from this really cool analysis. It's called Othello, the Jealous Hero. And we're gonna really get into why this story from like centuries ago still hits home for us today.
It's wild, right? So, like, for anyone who hasn't had the pleasure of reading or seeing Othello, quick rundown. Othello is this Moorish general. He's serving in the Venetian army. Now, if you're not familiar, think of Venice as this powerful Italian city-state back in the day and a Moor. Well, back then, that meant someone of North African or Middle Eastern descent. So already we see that Othello is kind of an outsider.
He is, and he's a total rock star, too. I mean, this guy has risen to the top, military leader, respected, even feared, you know?
Right.
The analysis actually quotes him. It says, my services, which I have done the signory, shall out-tongue his complaints.
Whoa.
Yeah, basically he's like, hey, my actions speak louder than any words against me.
Boom. Mic drop. Right. He's got power, status.
You'd think.
But the analysis also points out this thing. He's also incredibly insecure.
It is interesting.
Like, why? You're a celebrated general. Shouldn't you be super confident? Why is there this, like, fragility?
This is where it gets really fascinating. So Othello's race, his otherness in this, very white Venetian society, the constant weight on his shoulders.
I see.
He might be wearing the uniform of a general, but he can't escape the prejudice of that time. And this vulnerability, it makes him the perfect target for someone like Iago.
Yeah, it's like he's always got something to prove.
Right.
Constantly overcompensating. Because deep down, he feels like he doesn't belong.
It is a tough position to be in.
Yeah, that feeling of, like, being judged or underestimated just because of something you can't control. I bet a lot of people listening can relate to that in some way.
Oh, absolutely.
In Shakespeare, he's brilliant, right? He takes this vulnerability and he turns it into this setup for this incredible tragedy.
Yes.
Enter Iago, the villain of the play.
Classic Shakespearean villain. Pure resentment towards Othello. Just sees this insecurity and he's like, bingo, this is how I get him.
Right, for the taking.
Exactly.
And boy, does he go after it, right? He pokes and pries at Othello's biggest weakness, jealousy.
And there's that famous line about jealousy, right?
Yeah.
The green-eyed monster.
Ooh, yeah.
It is the green-eyed monster which doth mock the meat it feeds on, says Shakespeare. It isn't just an emotion, it's like this all-consuming force.
Right.
It warps how you see the world, turns reality into this twisted funhouse mirror image.
So, Iago plants these seeds of doubt about Desdemona, Othello's wife, and because of all these insecurities already bubbling under the surface, Othello takes the bait, hook, line, and sinker.
He does.
Starts seeing things that aren't there, misinterpreting every little thing.
Oh, yeah.
Gets totally consumed by suspicion.
It's the classic appearance versus reality theme,
Yeah.
Here's Othello, this decisive, take-charge general on the battlefield.
Yeah.
But in his personal life, he's totally paralyzed by doubt. He chooses to trust the image of betrayal
Right.
over the genuine love he has with Desdemona. Man, it is just heartbreaking to see it all go down.
It really is. And the analysis, it talks about this turning point, Othello's moment of recognition. The moment when he sees the truth, the lies he swallowed, the horrible mistake he's made. But it's too late.
It's that realization that just crushes you,
Totally.
He's already done the unthinkable.
And the analysis quotes him, right? He says, "Then must you speak of one that loved not wisely but too well."
Oh, man, talk
Yeah.
about a heavy line. Imagine that weight, understanding your own fatal flaw, but realizing it too late. It's classic Shakespearean tragedy.
It's so powerful and so sad. It makes you think about, like, the danger of letting our emotions run wild.
Definitely.
How they can just completely cloud our judgment and send us down a path of destruction.
Absolutely.
So, big question for us, the readers, the viewers, the people thinking about this play. What can we learn from Othello's downfall?
It's a cautionary tale, for sure. It reminds us how important it is to think critically, to question what we see and hear, especially if it plays into our deepest fears.
Yeah, yeah.
Othello shows us that even the strongest, most capable people can become victims, especially when they let their insecurities take the wheel.
So true. We've covered a lot today. Othello's rise to power, his inner struggles, how insidious jealousy can be, and the devastating consequences that followed.
It is a story that really sticks with you.
It really, really does.
It makes you think, right? If Othello is a warning about trusting too blindly, should we all just be suspicious of everyone? Like, how do we strike that balance between trust and, you know, healthy skepticism?
That's a tough one.
Especially in a world where manipulation and deception are, well, they're everywhere.
They really are.
It's something we all need to, think about.
It really is. Food for thought, everyone.
Food for thought.
And on that note, we're going to wrap up today's deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.